Hi everyone, this is Arian Reed and this is my third month on T. So this month there hasn't been a whole lot of necessarily changes, more just a slight progression of previous changes that I mentioned in my earlier videos. So the number one change has been my voice. My voice did break, and that was both a very exciting and terrifying time for me. Because as a singer, to suddenly have only like one octave and have that one octave sound very drained and weak, and to not have gained my lower notes, it was a very terrifying time. You know, I did try to sing those higher notes. I tried to force them out. I tried to gently kind of tease them out. I did everything I could think of. I watched some videos by some trans women on how to sing higher, and you know, for a while there, nothing happened. You know, just like a hiss of air would come out, and that was it. And then after about a week or so, like the higher notes kind of came back, but they just weren't the same anymore, and they seemed to be disappearing. And more, I just kind of sound like a guy trying to sing high and just not making it work. So unfortunately, you know, I did lose that, but I am gaining my male voice, which I'm really excited about. And you know, it's been really nice being able to pass, because it used to be kind of one or the other. You know, you either pass or you speak, but you know, it didn't used to go hand in hand. Now it does, and that's been really nice. But unfortunately, it did break at like the worst time, because unfortunately, the menstruation is still a thing, and that was gearing up to start again. And you know, so I was essentially PMSing. I was ready for my next testosterone shot, so I was low on testosterone, and I think it all just kind of combined to where, and my voice broke at that moment, and like, you know, I noticed, well, that's when I noticed it, was during that time. So it all kind of combined to be kind of a pretty emotional thing for me. And unfortunately, I couldn't just cry it out of my system. Now that I've been on T for a while, I find that my emotions are becoming a little bit distant. You know, like they're still there. They're over there. They're not quite like here. So it was, you know, I couldn't just, it was different. I couldn't just cry. I had to, well, I did cry a little bit. Like I got like a tear like came out of here. Like my eye got wet. That was about it. Like one eye. And I just couldn't cry. What I had to do instead was I had to just brood for like a week. So that's what I did. And over time, I just sort of gradually stopped caring. And that was how I got over it. And so, you know, that was a different experience, emotionally speaking. But now that it has broken, I've kind of gotten over the loss of the voice I had before. I am very excited now, because now I do enjoy this voice that I have now. And, you know, it's getting richer. I'm learning how to use it. You know, it's been pretty cool. I'm really excited to, you know, be my true self. I feel like that was worth the loss of that higher voice. Besides that, I've also experienced some other physical changes, including hair. I do have increased hair on my thighs, a little bit more on my stomach, maybe a little bit on my arms, or maybe I was just a bad observer beforehand. And a little bit through here, I got a little bit of a mustache coming in. It came in around like week 7 or 8 was when I started to notice, you know, the occasional dark hair there. And it's just been slightly increasing ever since. I still don't think you can really see it, but, you know, it's coming in. I really wanted hair down here, and I didn't really think about the fact that wanting hair in a specific area basically meant I was going to get hair everywhere else except there, because that's how life works. So this is what I got instead, and I'm just making the best of it and hoping that this comes in eventually. I do see my doctor in a couple days, so I will ask that she increase my testosterone, so hopefully the whole menstruation thing will stop, and hopefully maybe we'll start to get a bit more hair. I also had some slight fat changes. So a lot of the fat on my hips is now on my stomach. Yay. But I am really excited that it's off my hips. I think my stomach might also just look bigger just because I think my abdomen is getting bigger and stronger. I work that out too. So, I try to work out everything, honestly. I've also seen, while we're on that topic, I've also seen some muscle changes as well. I do notice that I seem a little bit bulkier up top, like, the upper chest, and also through here, like, I'm a little bit more bulky along my traps. My lats are also a little bit bulkier, but I've also been working those out. I'm told also that my arms are bigger, and that's been great. It's been really, very, very exciting to be told and to notice in the mirror. I've been increasing, how much weight I use on my exercises, just a little bit here and there, and, but on things where I hadn't seen any sort of changes for about a year or two, and all of a sudden this is increasing, now this is increasing, and so it's just been a really exciting time. Also, acne. Acne has been getting a little bit better. I've also been sticking to my sugar-free, gluten-free, everything cool-free diet as much as I can. I'm not perfect, but I try really hard. And so because of that, I've really only got, like, the occasional, like, dots on my face. Right there. I've got the occasional dots, like, here, and mainly, like, on my back, which is fine with me since I have to wear a binder and a shirt at all times anyway. It may as well just go back there. But as long as I try to break a sweat every day and stick to that diet, then it seems to be very, very minimal, very, controllable. I think we covered everything. There really hasn't been a whole lot of changes. It's just been a slight progression of all the things I had mentioned before. And I'm hoping that when I increase my testosterone next week, maybe we'll start to see some more changes again. So, thank you for listening, and stay tuned next month.
Hi everyone, my name is Arian. This is my first week on T.
Hi everyone, my name is Arian, and this is my first month on T. Hi everyone, my name is Arian Reed, and this is my second month on T. Hi everyone, this is Arian Reed, and this is my third month on T.
This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice.
This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. When it all came crashing down, crashing through the broken sound, I felt the ache of loss in my heart. Now the set will never hold my one sweet soprano. Ursula, please give me love. Felt the crack within my bones, a shifting garlic baritone, splintering sound I'd never known. I must be falling apart. Music has always filled my heart. Why is my blessing a poison dart? Every step forward, I push you back. My every step forward, my voice cracks. How do I move forward? I'm so tired. How do I move forward? Balancing wire. Felt the crack within my bones, a shifting garlic baritone, splintering sound I've never known. I must be falling apart. Music has always filled my heart. Why is my blessing a poison dart? We don't say another word. Words have only brought us harm. Maybe there's bliss in silence. Now there's a gap within my throat, this emptiness of unheld hope. I'm opening my fingers and letting go. Path only scares me 'cause it's unknown. This path only leads into where I must go. It hurts just like this. But I was never meant to live in silence. The crack within my bones was shifting, gargling baritone, the splintering sound I've never known. I must be falling apart. Music has always filled my heart. Why is my blessing a poison dart?